Hey everybody, this is Matt Bednarsky and this is your Vlog of the Week.
This is your Vlog of the Week.
Recently I've been thinking about and talking with various people about passion, about sacrifice, about dreams, about finding what you love and doing it. I want to share with you some thoughts on this topic and hear your opinions on it. First off, a little disclaimer. I am coming at this from a Western society perspective with our cultural ideas, history, and traditions ingrained in me. We value things like independence and self-realization. Speaking on something completely objectively is nearly impossible, and this bias is what I naturally know. Don't take what I say to be right or correct necessarily. This is my viewpoint with my biases, including that of a Westerner. Different cultures view this differently, and that's part of what makes this world beautiful and interesting. All the more, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, so I've seen many people do things they don't want to do. They toil at jobs they hate in order to enjoy their weekends, or they follow the blueprint of society to go to college, get a job, any job, more or less, to pay for that college, and stumble around this nebulous routine of less than what they're passionate about. I say, what is this all about? Find what you love and dive in head first. Many of us are so fortunate to have the capabilities and accessibilities we have today. Education, nutrition, technology, these things have put ideas, influential people, opportunity, and information at our fingertips. Former generations paved the way for us to pursue what we love. The choice is not only there, but it is loud and bright. Why don't we do it then? Some people don't know what they want. I get that to an extent, but that's just a point, not the end. Search your soul, really ask the questions of what you love. Do you enjoy teaching? Does cooking really inspire you? Do you like writing? Or do you like cars and making sure they run like the fine-tuned machines that they're meant to be? What about designing buildings or understanding biology? Or reviewing medieval history? Or studying the body in order to help others with their pancreas? Or what about defending small businesses in the court of law? Granted, the options are apparently endless, but try things until something clicks, till something inspires. When you can't get enough of it, when you're willing to throw distractions at the wayside for it, well, that's a clue. Some people are afraid. They might teeter-totter in their dreams, but they have plan B to fall back on. And they ultimately do. Plan B is dangerous because it oftentimes becomes plan A. Maybe they doubt their abilities, or they're concerned for their security. These are reasonable concerns, but not reasonable fears. I'll get back to that in a moment. Plan A should just be the plan, which brings me to my next point. Some people don't scope out pursuing their passion. They kind of just haphazardly do it or think it's gonna fall into their lap. If you love something enough to work your keister off, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be intense, it's gonna require vision and sacrifice. Articulate them. What are your hopes and dreams? What do you need to get there? How do you arrive at that point? Maybe you'll have to practice 4 hours a day to learn Chinese. Maybe you'll have to move. But if it is something that stirs your soul, it'll be worth it. You have to define stepping stones. For instance, maybe you have to work a cruddy job in order to save up money. When tied to the bigger picture, this job has purpose, and it motivates you to keep your eyes on the bigger prize and work hard on something you don't necessarily want to do something you hunger to do. Which brings me back to the reasonable concern versus reasonable fears. Security, competency, etc. Those things are important. You have to be practical and not reckless, a dreamer, but one that lives in the real world. But if you have an overarching goal, then those things that you saw as fears can be seen as rungs on a ladder. How do I climb over them without falling to get to the top? Practicing, working, earning extra income, these things fall under that category. I also just want to make one important distinction. Dreams and hopes are not expectations. Dreams and hopes spur you on, they motivate you, and there's something to seek and anticipate. Expectations are things you assume or expect will happen. And if you don't meet that criteria, well, it's like failing. Expectations crush you and are dangerous. They often fall into the realm of comparing yourself with others, and that feeds jealous ambition and negativity. Have dreams and hopes, revisit and expand them, but don't get caught up in the trap of expectations. Now, one might argue that this vantage point, finding what you love and diving in headfirst, is selfish and self-centered. While I can see that point, I'd argue this one. Doing what lights a fire into you, what encapsulates your passion, and working, giving your best effort out of joy in that is the best way to contribute to the world. When your prime motivation is not money or power, but love, then you're bound to reach others with the exceptional, intrinsically motivated work you're doing. Look at the great artists. I doubt Mozart was much concerned with his legacy, as opposed to being enraptured by the beauty of the music that we enjoy today. Or Martin Luther King Jr. His passion for civil rights led to monumental movement that transformed the entire US for the better. Or Steve Jobs. To my understanding, for part of the time he led Apple, he didn't even take a salary. Innovation in his products to revolutionize the way we interact was more important to him. In closing, I've talked a lot about doing, accomplishing, pursuing. The journey is crucial, and finding and diving into yours is important and helps shape you. But truthfully, life is more about who you are than what you do. Getting consumed by the journey would be defeating its purpose altogether. In the end, it's not so much what you do, but how you do it. Be grateful for those who help you along the path, and love wide and far those around you. We all have different routes, but we're all in this together. So go find what you love and dive right in. And let me know what you think about this whole spiel you just heard. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.